The Ryan family hoped to start a new life at the Abyss Ranch. Far away from the city hustle, they dreamed of tranquility and harmony with nature. However, as soon as they crossed the threshold of their new home, their dreams began to dissolve into unreal nightmares. The first warning came with the disappearance of livestock. Sheep, cows, and horses they brought with them vanished without a trace, leaving only mysterious marks on the ground. Days became heavy, and nights filled with strange sounds, vague rustlings, the moans of the wind that seemed to come from the depths of the forest. They waved off these events, telling themselves that these were just normal attributes of country life. But bloody traces on the walls of the house crossed out all their rational explanations. Bloodstains formed strange patterns, as if someone was trying to convey a message through them. Fear began to creep into every corner of the house, as if it were a living entity devouring their peace. The family initiated an investigation, having no slightest idea of what they had gotten themselves into. Trying to find an explanation, they unearthed the dark secrets of a local cult that had practiced dark rituals on this ranch decades ago. The majestic hills and forests now seemed not just beautiful nature, but graves of countless secrets buried. With each new discovery, the curse became more evident. Shadows on the walls stretched into long figures, resembling ancient priests conducting their ominous rites. Hallucinations tormented the family day and night, blurring the line between reality and nightmares. Their minds became the arena of a struggle between living nightmares and the last shreds of sanity. One by one, the family members started succumbing to the curse's influence. They saw visions and heard voices calling them to a world where reality merged with nightmares. They realized that they had little time left before they themselves would become victims of the same horrifying fate that befell their predecessors. In a desperate attempt to save themselves and each other, they began deciphering codes and messages left by the cult. Old books hidden in dusty corners of the house revealed ancient secrets and incantations. But with each step down this ominous path, they felt evil gaining control over them, seeping into their souls. The time for the final battle had come. Left alone, they stared into the eyes of the evil that cursed this place. Fear was overwhelming, but they realized they were the last barrier before the curse devoured the whole world into its bottomless abyss. Their battle was fierce and terrifying. Rituals and incantations intertwined with reality, and time seemed to stretch into eternity. Yet, in the last moment, when it seemed that evil would prevail, the family found strength and desperation to fight until the end. Light pierced the darkness, and the curse began to crumble, as if a deck of cards was revealing its hidden rooms. A place once knowing only darkness and fear now filled with the light of hope. The Ryan family realized they had survived the nightmare that could have destroyed them, and they remained alive, stronger and wiser. Thus ended their struggle with the curse of the Abyss Ranch. The family left this place, but they will never forget the lesson it taught them. Neither time nor evil can defeat us if we don't lose faith in ourselves. Dark clouds obscured the sky, and the winds howled loudly through the twisted trees, as if foretelling a storm. On the outskirts of the abandoned town stood Twilight Ranch, a place where memories and hopes decayed. The townsfolk avoided it like a place cursed, shrouded in legends passed down from generation to generation. These legends spoke of the greed and recklessness of the old ranch owner, Edmund Craven. Edmund Craven was an ambitious man thirsty for wealth. He believed that money could bring him everything: power, respect, illicit pleasures. For many years, he delved into ancient books and occult practices, seeking power and wealth. Yet his insatiable pursuits led him into dark rituals, attracting like-minded individuals who were desperate and eager for change. The rituals grew increasingly sinister and terrifying, but the most horrifying moment came on the day his youngest daughter, the lovely Amelia, disappeared. The town began to be shrouded in darkness, and the abandoned ranch became a place where moans and whispers of the dead were heard. Some even claimed to see glowing eyes in the upper windows of the ranch at night. The protagonist of this story, Maxwell Dane, was an explorer and writer intrigued by the paranormal. Terrifying stories never frightened him. On the contrary, they ignited his curiosity. One day, during his research, he stumbled upon an old map that marked the path to the abandoned Twilight Ranch, indicating the location of a forgotten cellar. Enchanted by the idea of unraveling the secrets of the Twilight Wrench, Maxwell set out to explore. A series of eerie events began as soon as he crossed the wrench's threshold. The first encounter was the smell of decay and dampness, which seemed to be absorbed into the walls, filling the air with a heavy, fetid odor. Navigating through dusty corridors, Maxwell came across a door leading to the cellar. His heart raced as he forged ahead through the darkness. Below, he discovered a remarkable sight, a cozy room filled with books and scrolls. It seemed to be the place where Edmund conducted his dark rituals. As he ventured deeper into the wrench, Maxwell unearthed Edmund Craven's diary. The entries revealed the fears and doubts of a man struggling with his ambitions while losing touch with reality. However, the most astonishing revelation was the account of Edmund's daughter, Amelia. Amelia's fate was far from what was assumed. She wasn't a victim of the ritual, she became a part of it. Her soul remained trapped within the wrench, continuing to wander its corridors, yearning for revenge for what had happened to her. With each step deeper into the wrench, Maxwell encountered terrifying phenomena, unseen rustlings, cold touches, and strange shadows darting across walls. He heard faint childish laughter, seeming to echo from a distance, and saw ghostly traces of child-sized footsteps on dusty floors. Maxwell realized he couldn't escape this story. Even as his mind screamed for him to flee this cursed land, his curiosity and thirst for truth pushed him forward. Soon, he discovered that Amelia's soul wanted his help. She wanted someone to finally uncover the mystery of her disappearance and aid her in breaking free from this ominous destiny. Night after night, Maxwell spent within the wrench, studying Edmund's diary, delving into ancient rituals, and trying to find a way to free Amelia. His mind and soul became caught between the realms of the living and the dead, and he began to doubt the nature of reality. However, the further Maxwell delved into his investigations, the stronger he felt the wrench's curse infiltrating his own soul. He saw visions where he became Edmund Craven, performing dark rituals and consigning lives to sacrificial flames. Finally, in one of his late-night explorations, Maxwell unearthed the last, most secretive scroll. It described a ceremony that could break the curse, but its cost was incredibly high. Maxwell had to offer his own soul as a sacrifice. Now, he stood at the brink of an immensely difficult decision. He could return to his normal life, forgetting the wrench and its curse. Yet he could also risk everything and attempt to free Amelia, stopping the curse once and for all. Maxwell's heart raced as he stood before the entrance to the abandoned wrench. He knew this decision would change everything. He looked at the map that had brought him here, at Edmund's diary revealing the horrors of the past, and finally at the darkness of the cellar, where the most horrifying truth awaited. The tale of the cursed Twilight Wrench enveloped him like a shadow. It was no longer just a story, but a reality he had to confront. The question was what he was willing to do to unravel the mysteries of the past and free the soul of a girl trapped in a curse. Would liberation be achieved? Could Maxwell overcome his own fears and halt the eerie influence of the wrench? Or would he become the next victim of the place, perpetuating the cycle of fear and greed? The answers lay hidden in the shadows of the past, in the horrors that awaited, and in the choice that the protagonist would make.